When the world gets heavy and the road feels long, someone reaches out and helps you carry on. A simple act of kindness can heal a hurting soul. People helping people is what makes us whole. Every hand we hold, every heart we heal, shows us love is stronger than anything we feel. People helping people, lighting up the night. People helping people, making wrong things right. When we stand together, we can face it all. People helping people, we will never fall. Through the highs and lows, through the pain and fear, people helping people, always standing near. A stranger gives a smile when somebody's down, lifts them from the darkness, turns their life around. Every little moment, every caring deed, people helping people is the world we need. One voice can start a change, one heart can light the flame. And when we come together, nothing stays the same. People helping people, shining like the sun. People helping people, stronger all as one. No matter where we come from, love can lead the way. People helping people every single day. People helping people, hand in hand we rise, changing lives forever. Opening our eyes. People helping people.
Hello, friends. Welcome to People Helping People podcast with me, Martha, and Paulette. This is our 7th episode. This is a pretty big deal for us. We've been on this journey for quite a few years now, me and Paulette. And now we are bringing it to you, just sharing the knowledge of what we've experienced firsthand as servant leaders in the communities that we serve and worldwide too. So I'm in California, and for friends that don't know me who may be new here today, I am a human being. Someone said, what's your titles? And I said, I'm just a human being. I'm a mom. I'm a proud mom of a teenager and a fur baby. And I am just a human being here serving. I'm also the person behind ConnectImpact Hub, I would say, and holding hands with Paulette as we move forward. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Paulette. Oh, Paulette, you're on mute. Let's see.
Forgot about that. Yeah. I was choking, so I was like being really good. I apologize, my voice isn't very good today. I think what I am is a human being too. And we're not just human beings, we're human beings who have eyes, ears, and hearts. And we can't walk past, and we can't not hear, and we can't not feel. And when you feel like that, you're a human being that is very different to somebody who walks around going la 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 la, because there are so many thousands and millions of people that either do that or do that. Lots of this. They're very abusive, they're very angry, the world's terrible, blah blah blah. So we need to use our ears and our mouths and our hearts and our eyes for the right reasons. And I think what helping people is exactly that. It's saying, we see you, we hear you, we'll help you. And it chokes me up when I think about that, because that was what it was all about from day one. And we're still doing it all these months and years later, in the same way where I see an advert that says we need 100 pairs of shoes in Uganda for children to go to school. I don't go, oh, I can't see that. I don't want to look at that. No, 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 not me. I can't do it. So I just go, right, okay, let's go make some noise. And eventually someone says, try this direction, and then you find somebody who helps you. So I think that what we're trying to do is bring people out of this, I'm in hiding. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to be it. I don't want to be part of it. And that's the first thing. And the second thing we're doing is, when you're in the mess or you're in a problem, having the ability to say, help. And I think those two things are what we're trying so hard to do, Martha. And Martha is out there on the streets trying to make people feel that need to say help. Back to you, my love.
Thank you so much, Paulette. Christy's also here with us. Christy, so great to see you. Thank you for joining us. So today's title, Christy said she loved the title today. It's Where to Turn When You Need Help. If you're joining us here today, please share in the comments, like, where do you turn for help? And I mean, even if you're working, right, there's also adversities that you're maybe facing, such as paying a bill, or maybe your rent, or maybe an emergency came up. Where do I turn to? I'm going to share a quick example that happened early this morning for me today. I got a call that a family had got evicted over the weekend. And this is now the second case I'm hearing within the last 5 days of an eviction. And the person that reached out is someone that I do know. And so they were like, hey, do you have any resources you can refer me to? In the past, I got assistance, but now again, I'm having some difficulties. So where do you turn to, right? So for her, she turned to me. She wanted to know, like, where can I go? So I gave her a list of resources. And she just sent a text message to me saying, thank you so much, right? But what if you don't know where to turn to, right? I know I've shared this in the past too, where someone was also facing an eviction in the neighborhood, and they didn't know what they were going to do. And they were very stressed out. And then there was a resource in the community that would help pay rental arrears. And it happened to work out within the time frame. And that person got help. And so it's just neighbors sharing information. We here in the community sharing information. If you know someone that may be in need, where do you go? Or maybe you're in need. Where do you go for help? Share it in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Also, I just shared something on LinkedIn last night. And it was on a resource that I located through Reddit. And they have a community if you need assistance. And so on Reddit, you can post your need, and basically say you're needing gas, for example, something, small. Or some people are also sharing their GoFundMe pages there. I'll share the link here. It's called reddit.com/r/assistance. And I also will share it in the comments for friends that may be interested in looking into it. You could see what other people wrote to ask for help. And so I've seen some really good comments in there of people helping people. And this is what we're talking about here. Paulette, what are your thoughts on, people going beyond the resources that are available and actually helping one another?
Well, it's a bit like I said about that poster. We saw the poster that said, we're looking for 100 pairs of shoes for children in Uganda. I don't know these children. I'm never going to meet these children. But I saw a poster of all these kids and I couldn't just go, I don't want to see it, right? So the first thing is, I think, if we open our hearts, and I say this on a regular basis to people, even people that come for counseling, your heart is so closed that you can't accept help, right? Until you open your heart, then you can accept help. And so for me, the biggest part of this journey for people, if they're in trouble, it's who can I ask? Where will I lose the least amount of face? Am I gonna lose friends, family? Will I be looked at differently? Am I gonna get judged? Am I gonna get X, Y, Z? That's the first thing. And the other part of it is once you are prepared to say help, you go, well, who do I go and ask? Where do I look for the person to ask for help? Normally, you've exhausted family. Normally, family has been the first port of call, and you've kind of like bank of mum and dad, bank of aunt, bank of uncle. They've all gone. We've got no more. We've got nothing spare. So once the family members have gone, we're done. Where do you go? So I think the part that Martha is trying to say to people is there's always resources. Now, I didn't even know what the term resources meant because to me it means something different in the UK. But resources means there's somewhere to go. There's a system, there's help, there might be a go-to place where you can go and get food. There might be a place you can go and get help with your rent, or might be a place you can go and get medical supplies. These are what they call resources. So the UK term is not resources. The UK term would be universal credit, or you go to the local Citizens Vice Bureau and they would direct you. In the case of Martha is unique in that the people that Martha speaks to can be anywhere from somebody who's on the streets to somebody who's been very happily housed, very happily paying their bills, paying their taxes, living a normal life, and then bam, loses their job, the savings go, the friends, family, everyone says we've got no more, and then it's eviction. And what Martha is saying is if she gets in early enough, if people talk to you early enough, that could be avoided. And so, not always, but no guarantees here, guys. Martha does not have a magic wand down her trousers, okay? I'm just making that clear. There is no magic wand down Martha's trousers, right? Or a top hat that she can get a rabbit out of. But there are things she can do.
Yes.
To you, madam.
Thank you so much, Paulette, for sharing that. As I was speaking about the evictions, right? Most people, they get scared and they immediately say, okay, I got to pack up my things and I have to go. And I had a case back in New York, this was years ago, of a person that was facing an eviction, and it was during the COVID time. There was a program called One Shot Deal. And that program I've spoke about before. That's another wonderful program that's provided in New York. And basically, she had went to court. She stayed in the home. She didn't leave, even though she had that eviction notice, because she seeked legal advice. There's a program called Legal Aid. This is offered nationally. And you can contact them and they'll connect you either with a free a firm of lawyers who can support you, or they will charge a small fee. And that's something that you could connect with if you can't pay the fee. Speak with them if they can do payment plans for that small fee to help you. And so before you decide to pack up and leave, look at your options. What do I have as the tenant? What are my rights? Maybe you fell sick, right? Disabled. You couldn't work. So what can I do to secure my housing? Who can I reach out to? And something that has come up too, Paulette, is I've had a couple people who've reached out and they want to be private. They don't want their information being shared. They don't want to start a GoFundMe page. Okay, so what can we do to look outside the box? So here's some 411 information for you. So something that I'm seeing is the utilities. Most people think if they get a turn off notice that they're, and they're not able to find support, that they have to go along with what's being said. Just like the eviction, we have to go along with it. But start asking questions. Start asking questions such as, what are my options? Do you have a hardship program available for people that can't pay right now because I have job loss or I have a disability? And if the customer service in the front lines is unable or they're not listening, escalate to a manager, a supervisor, and then have that conversation and let them know, because they can help you. And people don't know this. There is support within utility companies if you just talk with the right person. They can extend that. They can prevent you from getting shut off if you have a disability. It's just talking with them. I do recommend to get everything in writing. That's important, because we've seen cases where they've said something over the phone, and then guess what? There was a shut off because there was nothing in writing. So it's important if you could ask for emails. Sometimes their calls are recorded, so just get their details so that you have that for your records. Now this is current, like it's happening, and I'm seeing a lot of cases, Paulette, with our working class. This is our working class that are housed, that are facing these difficulties because recently they lost a job or recently they became disabled.
So are these people that are renting or owning?
Renting. Yeah, renting. And then I see that also I wanted to spotlight this comment from Christy. She said she's found so much help from her local church. And that's another thing too, because here at ConnectImpact Hub, we do make the phone calls for the members. We call, we ask the questions, and with the member. It's easier to have the member, which is the client, the unhoused person, the low income person, just so you know the verbiage. It's better to have them on the phone, because if we're just calling, then we're not able to support much with what's the need at this moment. So we could only do so much. And I know there's a lot of privacy concerns, which we completely understand. But when you're needing help, sometimes, that privacy, I don't want to say it goes out the window, but when you're needing help, reaching out to the right person, organization that you feel comfortable or you may trust is important. And I wanted to mention a couple of organizations that I've actually have referred folks to. One of the agencies is called Community Action Agency, and this program is available on a national level. And what they do is you can just type in Community Action Agency and put your state or your city, and then you should get a list of them because there could be in multiple locations. It's not just one in one state. There's multiple locations where they're located. And they can help you if you're looking for housing or you need a financial assistant or jobs. For example, employment, I'll say, like if you're needing assistance with searching, they can then bring that research search for you and help you, just like what we do here at ConnectImpact Hub. But they have access to a national database between their organization. So that would be one organization that you can get in contact with. They also provide case management. Another one is the Catholic Charities. This one I have referred people to in the past and recently, actually. You do need to find out. I know they've helped with, like if you're needing financial assistance, sometimes they have pantries, they have case management. A lot of people connect with them for financial assistance. Now, with them, you do need to call to see if they have any available because they do run out of funding. And if they do have a website, sometimes it may be updated and sometimes it may not be updated. So it's important for you to call and find out what's available. Another situation that came up, Paulette, is how much help can I get in a year? And so many organizations will only help once a year financially. So far, I'm seeing that with the Salvation Army and Catholic Charities once a year.
Question. So somebody's having problems paying their rent.
Mm-hmm.
The Catholic Church might help them once.
Mm-hmm.
The community hubs might help them once. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
Yeah. So
what we're saying is, even if you get help to see you through a month, it's not a solution. It's just a plaster, right?
Right. So this is where the prevention comes in, right? This is why we have a program called Continuity of Care, where social determinants of health is being targeted. For example, a person that's low income, how can we prevent them from becoming unhoused? So we first look at the whole scope: their education, their financials, their housing, the area where they live, and of course the people that they communicate with. So it's pretty a big area. So once we figure this out as a case manager, as an advocate, then we start targeting areas that need a support immediately. So if a person is in need of financial assistance, okay, are you working? Do you have a health condition? These are questions that I've asked in the past and I ask now. And the reason we ask these questions is because we're trying to narrow down what is the big problem here that's causing you to have a financial crisis. Because the issue can be solved temporarily, but what about the long term? And that's where we're trying to address. We're trying to get that box checked. How can we address this ongoing issue?
because I'm just really confused. So I'm gonna say I find you, and you say, okay, I'll take you on. Um, I have a job, but it's a low paying job. But I'm doing my best, but I can't pay my bills. I want to stay where I am because my family are nearby. What can we do? Whatever way we look at it, I'm still in the house property. Let's call it a flat. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still in the flat. I'm still paying most of my bills, but not all of my bills. I'm just about eating, but mostly from various shelters and places. And I kind of I feel like this communication was it called the communication hub? Was it the communication
Oh,
community action?
agency. Yeah.
Community action. Sorry, community agency, was it?
Yeah.
Community
Community Action
agency.
Agency. Yeah.
Action agency. I've got to write it down properly. Right, agency, because I know someone immediately I'm going to give these details to. Okay, fine. So, community action agency. Now, here's the thing: we don't know how much or how little they're going to help,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not being difficult. I'm just trying to see it from a perspective of someone in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I've been honest. I've opened up to someone. I told them my situation and how much help is available to me. Am I going to get enough money to stay in my home?
Mm-hmm.
I'm working. For goodness sake, I'm working. I
Yeah.
am trying. I'm
Yeah.
one of those that's trying. And I don't earn enough money to cover the bills, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
living so meagerly. It just seems so wrong. And
Yeah.
I feel like and I don't know, I'm not a political animal, but I feel like I'm becoming a political animal in that I'm saying, when we started the program about people helping people,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we need to get the governments, whichever ones, both, to see the people. Because the way I see it at the moment, we've lost touch
Mm-hmm.
with the people. We might be playing with the billionaires. We might be having a lovely time playing with the billionaires and our friends and all this lovely, lovely money. And there's all these people who are absolutely in dire straits. And it seems so unfair to me that we are saying we need you, the people, to help other people. But here's the thing:
Mm-hmm.
if we the people, say we are always helping everybody, we're always doing our bit, we're always trying to support, we're always trying, it's never enough.
Yeah.
So you have a choice. You go to your government, you go to your officials, and you say, we need to do more. And the bigger the voice that says we need to do more, the louder the voice that says we need to do more will happen. But whilst more is quiet, because quiet is embarrassment, quiet is humiliation, quiet is I don't want everyone to know,
Mm-hmm.
quiet is fear,
Yeah.
fear of everybody knowing my situation. And I think the most important part of any conversation from here on is we have to take the fear out of whatever the situation is, because we have to turn around and say, we're the ones that take the fear away. All right? So,
Yeah.
people helping people isn't just about helping people, it's about helping take that fear away.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Absolutely.
think if we can take the fear away, then we've got a chance to help them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's going to be the next marker on our list of things to do, is as an action point, we need to remove fear.
Yeah.
We need to remove that absolute fear is crippling. Fear is terrifying. Fear is, I would rather starve than let people know I was starving.
Yeah.
That's what fear is. Fear is, I would rather be found here dead, my family know how poor we were. And that is really sad. And that's because we've always put such a big emphasis on having stuff and being this and being that. And we need to take all that away, strip it back, and say, people helping people is about removing that fear. And I think if we can remove the fear, we have a chance to help.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, like we started the episode today, we are human beings serving. Um, and when you see people, I know I asked this in the past, like when you see people outside, what do you think? You know, when I see people outside, I see people they used to serve me at the Denny's. They used to that I used to see when I would go out with my girlfriends. They were working security. You know, these are folks that are in from the community that were working class that are now unhoused. And it's something that we when we get into the tune of things, because that's how life teaches us, Paulette, growing up in school. They teach us, you know, you got to be in school early, you got to be on time, you got to go through your classes, you get a break, you get a lunch. They're training that for the working class, but they don't really teach us about adversities, right? That we may come across, or maybe our children are seeing us struggle and they don't understand, right? They just know that they need a roof over their heads, they need food on the table, but then they find themselves in a situation similar to what parents went through. And so I always just want to say, you know, talk about it. Talk about it. Don't keep it in. I've had many people tell me I'm a private person. I don't want to share my struggles because of A, B, C, D. I've been one of those people myself that have said that. I don't want to share my struggles. But, you know, I know I've had struggles. And, you know, Paulette, you know, and we work through them, right? But we do speak about them because there's that healing process that comes with it. Um, I remember you, Paulette, saying, this was a while back, you saying that if a neighbor needs sugar, um, you know, give it to your neighbor, right? Or vice versa. If you need sugar, you can go and ask your neighbor. But that's kind of changed now, you know, in some areas. Um, I'm in California now, and I was in Texas, and I felt more comfortable talking with my Texas neighbors than I do with my California neighbors. You know, they were just very open and hello, and it's kind of closed here. You know, kind of private, and so I'm like, how can we help people open up? And that's where we're at with this.
Excuse me. I think apologize. I think the thing that I want to try and get across, if you take yourself back to when you were trying to make friends and you said, I want to be friends, I want to make friends, I don't know how to make friends. And you had to learn how to make friends. And then you made a friend and it was like, yeah, I got a friend. We're back there now. Okay. And the problem is that everyone's frightened of who they voted for. Did you vote this person? Did you vote that? Where are you? Especially if it's like you're in a red area or a blue area and your downers are one of them and not one of these and whatever. And the problem that I didn't know that once you're down as one of them, that's kind of it. You're stuck with being that until whatever. The big issue is that there is so many people who are frightened of their neighbor being something they shouldn't be, or something they don't want to be, or something they don't want to associate with. In other words, my neighbor might be black, and I don't really know any blacks, so I don't want to be with black people. They might be Jewish, and I don't want to be involved with the Jewish people. They might be um, an immigrant. I don't want to be involved with them in immigrants. They might be blonde and blue-eyed, and I like brown eyes. Whatever the reason, the point is, I'm telling it as basic as I can. People are frightened of people. Our whole program is people helping people. How the friggin' heck are we supposed to help people if people won't even talk to people?
Mm-hmm.
Right? People don't. I used to say, and I've said this in rooms before, and people always sick of me, but if someone's curtains are closed for 3 days, you would knock because you knew that there was a problem because they open their curtains every morning. You would know if Mrs. Guppy's milk's on the doorstep because Mrs. Guppy takes her milk in religiously, right? The chances are Mrs. Guppy's on the floor. The chances are Mrs. Guppy's either hurt or dead, right? Do we just ignore that? No, we don't. We go knock, we go find out. Because in those days, we knew who lived in our street, we knew who the people were. We didn't know all their business. We had coffee with one or two. We got one or two we'd have a gossip with, go and have a little chin wag and a cup of tea and a bit of cake or a biscuit. That was how it was. And one or two were friends, and the rest were kind of like associates. But if your plumbing went and you needed help, you could phone, put a note out, help, plumbing's gone, anyone know anything about plumbing? Or I need help lifting something, can someone come and give me a hand, right? In the village we live in, we still have that, okay? Thank God. But if we lived in a town, we wouldn't have that. It's gone. And it's gone because people have fear of who is behind that front door, right? Where did they come from? How did they get here? Are they an immigrant? Are they an illegal? Are they a this? Are they a drug addict? Do they do drugs? Are they a prostitute? Are they a this? Are they a that? Oh my gosh, we've got so many are theirs that if we just ask the question like, hi, how are you? See what happens. From the basis conversation of how you're doing, we need to stop judging everybody and start opening our hearts, opening our minds, being willing to understand each other. Because until we do that, how do we talk to each other? How does Martha help people if people don't tell her she needs help? How does Martha help the world? How do I help the world? When Sharon and Bakia put a note up saying, I need shoes, she didn't say, well, I might need shoes, but I don't want to talk about my need of shoes. She went, here's a great big poster and it says I need shoes because she needed help. That's what you do. Martha, how do we make them do it?
Yeah. So I see a comment here from Christy. She said, exactly, Paulette. My neighbor is the exact opposite of me. I thought he was mean. Once I had a conversation with him, I realized he was nice and respectful. Yeah. Yep. You're on mute, Paulette.
I try to be respectful and turn the button on. I think what I'm trying to say is, Christy, that if you were stuck, he would help you. If you needed a jump start on his cart, on your cart, he would be willing to do it. And now you would be willing to do it for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we need. We don't want to be in each other's business. We don't want to be up in their finances. We're not interested in whether they've got a pension plan. That isn't our bond. That's not what we're interested in. We want surface level friendship. That in the case that somebody needs something, you can ask.
Yeah.
Right? There was a lady in our village wanted to make a cake, a birthday cake. Okay. I need to make a birthday cake for my daughter. Does anybody have any icing sugar? Somebody said, yeah, I've got some icing sugar. Then somebody else, she said, does anybody have any eggs? And the lady with the chicken said, I've got some eggs. Then she said, does anybody have any self-raising flour? Right? At this point, I went, does she actually have any of the ingredients to make a cake? So I sent back a jokey comment. This cake, is it a community cake? And then she came back and went, yeah, I don't have any of the ingredients. And I was crying with laughter. You know, what she really wanted was someone to go, do you want me to make you a cake? Do you want me to bake you a cake? Would it really help you? You know, it was so funny. But the point of it was that the whole community were prepared to help bake this cake in bits. You know, we all gave a bit towards the community cake. And then we insisted on, when she told her daughter it was her birthday cake, we wanted it called the community birthday cake, and we wanted a picture. And we really had it. And honestly, this Beck, she got such a absolute pounding from the village. It was hilarious. But the point is, she went to the nicest shop and she bought the nicest products, and she replaced everybody's products with bigger and better and nicer to say thank you, because she was so embarrassed. But you know, we'd embarrassed her so much, but only jokingly. My point is, if we can do that in a village, we need to get back to doing that in a town. We need to get back to doing that in a block of flats. We need to get back to doing that in just a small community. I'll tell you something, and I don't talk about it very often, but the unhoused community that I know of, and I only know a few because it's a few that I specifically engage with, but they look out for each other more than we do. Am I not telling the truth?
You're absolutely telling the truth. Yep. And to add to that, I've met many people on the streets, people that live near the highways, under the bridges, their tents. They'll leave them there, but their friend will watch their tent while they go to the bathroom, while they go to the grocery to get something to eat, or while they go and you know, request for donations. And then they'll take turns. So they have like teams, they're working. Then there's some situations though too where they don't want friendships. They just want to, hey, from a distance, they want to be left alone, you know, but they still look out for each other. They still look out for one another. If there's an emergency, they'll call 911 for one another. And there is unity. If someone's eating, the other person's going to eat. If they have a blanket and the other person doesn't, they're going to share that blanket. I've seen that multiple times. And if you just observe,
isn't that sad that we've just said that the absolute poorest and the lowest level of human nature is still looking out for each other, is still caring for each other, and yet as we go up the line, up the level, it becomes less and less and less. And that is really sad to admit that.
It's very true. Or even we have folks who were at that level, and some of them have, you know, had enough of that level, and they walked out, and they then went to becoming unhoused because they found more happiness being unhoused, you know. And it's like everyone's gonna, you know, as you get older, you know, you're gonna find your own happiness, right? But there's steps to it, and also there's steps that happen as you're going down. There's not steps, but there's emotions, there's feelings, there's so much of letting go of situations, of people that happen as you're going through this process. For some people it's healing, for some people it's traumatic. Yeah. I also wanted to share, because I can't believe how fast time is going, Paulette. I wanted to share regarding the resources. I don't remember if I said Salvation Army. I know I said Catholic Charity. I did say it. Okay. So I wanted to share for friends that don't know, if you are facing a utility problem, right? Say your bill is $500 and the Catholic Charities will only pay a portion of that bill, then you can work with another organization. I'm just going to say Salvation Army. Don't quote me, just kind of using them as an examples. You can go with that organization and request to see if they'll be able to help you with the other portion of the payment. So just want to share that with you in case you don't know. And it doesn't have to be these organizations. There's other organizations out there that have funding set aside to help if you're facing a financial insecurity. And I'm just going back here. So if you're here with us, please let us know, where do you turn again when you need help? And Paulette, I am glad you brought that up about us being able to share and know that, we have also our introverts, okay, where they will, I know quite a few of them, they will take it till the end of their days before anyone knows that they are in a very tight situation. And you'll only know if they get sick that there's something bad, or a situation is affecting their health. And so, be very mindful of the people around you, even when we're sharing. Another thing is being sensitive to those around us. That's another something else to think about too, because you never know how they may take it. Or then we have the helpers that want to help everybody, right? Sometimes people, I had a conversation very recently. Sometimes people just want to be heard. They don't want you to help them. They just want to be heard. And so, yeah, just wanted to share that also. But I'm grateful for all the experiences and all the folks that have entrusted in ConnectImpact Hub to help them with navigating resources, where to ask for help, and then even getting a person for you to connect with, the importance of the names, their phone numbers. So if you're reaching out to an organization for a friend or a family member or someone that you may be supporting as a caseworker, as a case manager, a social worker, get a name so that when that person goes to that organization or calls them, they'll say, so and so spoke with Nancy. I'm just showing an example. And Nancy said that I just need to come in and do my intake, or Nancy said you have funding. And so I'm just here for that. Because with the names, I don't want to say it's going to get you in, but it will support you as you move forward. It creates that trust factor.
Yeah, and it helps, doesn't it? Because it shows continuity. It means there has been some communication, and therefore you're moving along on a line, as it were. Can I ask if somebody is like, I always remember Bill because Bill has been so public.
Yes.
But Bill owned his house, correct?
Yes. I'm sorry. What was that again?
Bill.
Yeah.
Will,
Yes.
Bill, William,
Yes.
Bill,
I know
Rochelle,
Bill.
Rochelle. Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone has a different name for him. So he calls himself Bill, and then he's got William comes up, and I'm like, who are you? But anyway,
It's Bill. Yeah. He's a sweetheart.
Bill.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
lovely, right? But Bill owns his house, right?
Yes.
How do you get help when you own your house?
So if you are behind on your mortgage, it's important to get in contact with your mortgage company, okay? And let them know that ask questions. That's the number one step, is ask questions. Do you have a hardship program? And I always say hardship. Also, if they will provide you, a lot of people don't know this, but there are programs within the mortgage company that can help you navigate while you're going through the difficulty. Sometimes they'll give you 6 months. Sometimes I've heard of 2 cases so far that they've received 6 months where they don't have to pay their mortgage. Another one was where they extended their mortgage so that they can have extra time. So that meant that that mortgage, the total amount was going to be higher, but it gave them that cushion to be able to, I guess, keep that cost down until they're able to pay their mortgage. Now, um, now sometimes once you exceed that, because I had one particular case that exceeded all of the support within the mortgage company, and there was nothing more that could be done, and there was just not enough income. They actually ended up selling the house because for them that was better. But in different states, there are programs that will help you pay for your mortgage if you're falling behind. So get in contact with your local city housing department and ask, do you have a mortgage? Do you provide mortgage assistance for the community members or, city members in the city? And then also get in contact with a housing counselor. Usually there's a HUD counseling, which is housing. It's available in every state. You can contact them or here in California, we have a program called ECHO. It's ECHO. It's an advocacy housing program, and they basically advocate for not for people. I think for the mortgage, but mostly for tenants, because that's important too. So there are housing programs where you can get support. But again, if you are behind on mortgage, highly recommend to speak with the mortgage lender, get in contact with the city, because you'd be surprised. There is a lot of support that can be available if you just get in contact with the city. And also reach out to local organizations and nonprofits with housing programs, whether it's counseling, whether it's financial assistance. Get in contact with them, because then they can lead you to another resource. And the ultimate one is getting in contact with your local Congress person. And that's what we ended up doing. In that case, we got in contact with the Congress person, and then we got things moving. So there are steps you can take to save your home from closing. So yes. And I know I don't think I said that verbiage right, closing, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, foreclosing.
Foreclosure. Yes, thank you. Yeah. So yeah,
I'm learning the American talk.
And you're reminding me, and I'm here in America. Look at Paulette. Thanks, Paulette. Paulette has my back. But yeah, there is ways, friends. So don't think that you can't. That there's no way out of what you're in, because there is. So it's just reaching out. And I always said, reach out and ask for help. But if you're going to reach out and ask for help, look at whatever program you're reaching out, look at their reviews. If you know someone in that program or someone that got help in that program, ask them, what was your experience like? What was your experience like when you went and asked for support? And then you can decide
on how to put all these. Sorry, my voice is going. Are we going to be able to put all the names of like the community action and the Catholic Charities Salvation Army? Have we got a list on the back of our site or on the bottom of this?
No, but I'll type it right now in here.
I think if we could, it would be really useful people would be using your page as a place to read up on it and learn about it and understand who these people are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is this going on Facebook? Is this going on Facebook?
Yeah, this is going to be on YouTube and on LinkedIn.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
it's on YouTube and LinkedIn,
Mhm.
the point is
And
these are the
Instagram.
people, and
Sorry.
Instagram, even better. So listen, the more people, the merrier, right? But the most important part of it is that people understand there is help.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, but you have to, yeah, that's that song, isn't it? Reach out and, will it reach out and hold somebody's hand, make this world a better land if we can. That is what it's all about. Basically, we're asking you to trust and be brave and beat the fear of admittance, because I think that every single person, doesn't matter whether we've lost a pound or whether we've lost £100 or lost £1,000, whatever we've lost, right? We've all been
Mhm.
in that mode. We've all felt that, oh my gosh, where do we go now? What happens next? There isn't many people in this world who haven't been in some form or other of dire straits. And if they have, they've lived a very privileged, very lucky life. And I don't know many myself, because the world that I work, well, some of the people I worked with, maybe they've had more luck than others, but it's luck, because I believe that luck fundamentally is what keeps, what it makes the difference between whether or not things happen or don't. So for me, I say to everybody, just put your big girl pants on or your big boy pants on, reach down, grab them, pull them up, and just say, I need help. And when you've done that, once you've said it, the help will come. Now, we're not going to guarantee that the piles of cash are going to start arriving, because no one promised the magic wand, okay? But what we're saying is there's always opportunities, and we can always try, and we can always ask, and we can always go seek. And I think that we can't magic wand the situation. And I never ever want Martha to feel like she's got the weight of the world on her shoulders because she can't magic wand everybody better. I am as guilty as the next man for that. I run around going, okay, what am I going to do about these 100 people's shoes? Oh no, what am I going to do about this person's problem over here? Oh no, what am I going to do? And then Charles will say, they're not your problem. They're only your problem if you choose them to be your problem. And then I go, oh yeah, that's right. It's still my problem. I'm still worrying about it. But the point is, now I'm looking at it in a slightly different lens. I'm looking at it that if I can help, I'll try, but I can't guarantee that I'll get those shoes. In my heart, I'm like, too right, I'm going to go get them shoes, right? But the point is, you and I both know it doesn't work that way, right? But we will do what we can do. And
Mm-hmm.
that's all I will say is we will do what we can do.
Yeah.
I personally am on in probably end of October, beginning of November. I'm going to be having a kind of a sale thing here where we're selling off a load of stuff that we have. And half the proceeds will be going to ConnectImpact Hub, because I think it's super important that we do that. Now, I could buy books and send books to Martha, but I think right now she has got other needs. Those needs are more immediate than a book. Giving people a bottle of water is a little bit more important than a book right now. They can't drink the book, and their need is water. So I am looking at this
Yeah.
situation and saying, I want to help. How do I help? You can help too, right? We've got we've got a GoFundMe. We've got a, what's it called, Martha?
Give butter. Yes.
Give button.
Yes. And if you'd like to make a donation, we have it listed in the body of this event. You can check out the link tree. Check us out here on the podcast if you find it that it's interesting or valuable to you, or maybe a friend did. You can share a donation. We're here, we're trying to grow our donations so that we can end up helping people who may be facing a utility needs assistance in that. But we're just starting that, so we hope that we can help more people. But again, everything we do here at ConnectImpact Hub has been voluntarily led. And so our donations haven't been a lot, but we are grateful for what we have received. But for us to do more, we would need more donations. So if you'd like to make a donation, I don't have the link listed here, but it is on our website. And then it's also
Give Butter, I think.
Yeah.
Give Butter. And I'm aiming to be able to put $500. That is my aim, so that come for Christmas, come November, December time, there's a sizable chunk of money been put in there. Now, I know there are people listening. I know there are people out there who can add to that. Now, I can't do it today, but I will be doing it then. When I've sold the things I'm going to sell, people are going to buy them and they're going to produce cash, and that cash is going to be coming half here, half to the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, that is something I'm doing personally, because I know we need it. We need an influx of cash, and it needs to come as soon as possible. So, for me, if you can push this out, if you can talk about us, if you can tell people about us, get the word out there that ConnectImpact Hub needs help. ConnectImpact Hub needs help to help others. We can only help with what we've got, right? And what we've got ain't a lot. We've just got us. And we've got two huge hearts, and we've got two very determined young ladies. We've got Christies, we've got assistants, we've got lots of people saying, I can help, we'll do, but we need money. And so, without being too crude and beggy, I'm begging, if you wouldn't mind giving Butter, or go to Give Butter, ConnectImpact Hub, then that means that we can do more. And I know she won't ask, so I will.
Thank you, Paulette. And also, Paulette is very involved with ConnectImpact Hub. She's actually one of our board members, so she knows what's happening with the funding that we get. She's monitoring that as well. So it's important that we be very transparent here with that, because that's something that I found in this field is the transparency part. Working in the nonprofit sector, it's been an eye opener for sure, and a learning experience.
Well, and Martha, the thing you have to remember, and I tell you, you've done such an amazing job to get to where you've got to, and I couldn't be more proud of you if you're my daughter. That's how I feel, because if I had a daughter, I'd want her to be just like you, because somebody who has a heart like you comes from a very special place, and that care for every human being is special. It's special, right?
Yeah.
And so we when we feel that way, and you can see how emotional we both get about these things. When we feel that way, that's why we want to try and help others. Mm-hmm. So please, if you can find it in your hearts, $10 would be great. $50, amazing. $100, I might even come and give you a kiss. Well, probably not. But the point is, I'll send you one. I'll send you one. I'm not going to get there because it's too TikToky and I'll get in trouble. I've done enough of that. No more making promises. So I'm going to say this: we are very, very welcome. Your donations are very, very welcomed and gratefully received.
Thank you so much, Paulette. You have to go through some things. We've been through some things, me and Paulette. and here we are working on this. And for friends that don't know, I am working on my doctorate right now, and my doctorate is around the unhoused community. And so at this moment, I'm working on this topic, my dissertation topic. And I remember when I said this is a life commitment, it really is a life commitment. Being in this field is nothing easy. There's nothing easy about it. It is really a commitment, and it has to come from the heart. And people that you work with will feel it. People that you're serving will feel it. They will know. So just wanted to share that with everyone. And I really want to thank you, Paulette, for being here with me today. And for anyone that's here in the audience, I know Christy was here, and Team Replay, Mel's going to be here. She said later today. So, and anyone else, if you'd like to connect with us, if you'd like to be part of the podcast, please let us know. You can connect with us. Again, the information is in the body of here, or you can reach out at ConnectImpact Hub website, which is listed right here. And again, people helping people, just be part of it, be part of the movement. And we'd love to meet you if you'd like to be part of it. Thank you so much again. And Paulette, anything coming up for you that you'd like to share? Also, check out
final words.
Jack and
Veterans.
Walters.
Final words. Oh yeah, Jack and Water. Jack and Water, please check out Jack and Water books, because that's what I was talking about. I can either give books or I can give money, and then Martha can choose what she needs to buy. But books at this moment in time are very far down the list of what's needed. And I understand that. And because I understand that, I'm looking to raise cash. So I am telling you that, the one thing I did want to say is we want to do a podcast with veterans. We want veterans involved in this conversation. And we want veterans to understand that we are standing with them. We are standing side by side them. We feel like we've worked with them, and we're going to stay with them and serve with them and do whatever we can to serve them the best way we can, because this is not a situation you should find yourself in. But if you do, don't fear it, because we're here. We want to help, and this is what we were asking for. So please get in touch with us, because we really do feel that there's a conversation here that really needs to be had.
Yes, thank you so much, Paulette. And we will have more conversations coming up on the veterans. We'll talk about that. We'll definitely be talking about that. But I do want to thank everyone again. I know we're a little over time here. Thank you for staying with us. And I hope everyone has a beautiful, wonderful day or night. And we will be back here in 2 weeks.